Like, who was the easiest 9 months? Who was the easiest delivery? And who was the easiest to deal with?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Like,
good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. This is the That's BS podcast coming to you live from Studio B, from the Hill Country to the rest of the world. Today, we are with somebody that y'all have never seen on the podcast, on my YouTube channel, but probably on Instagram. This is my mom.
Hi. I am mom.
Yeah. Which the reason why we're doing this episode specifically is because it's Mother's Day. When this is airing, it's Mother's Day.
Which one? Because, we have two. So which one am I celebrating? Because I want to celebrate both. I think I deserve it.
We're in the U.S., so we're celebrating Mother's Day on Sunday.
But,
Anyway, this is going to be real quick. Mother's Day, figured, want to kind of talk with you about specifically that, because I was essentially the first one I was the one who made you a mom.
Yeah. And you don't know what that was like because you were, you were a newborn. An infant. So you don't know what that experience was.
Being a mom?
No, like the experience of being born and making me a mom.
Oh, right. Yeah. So that's why we're going to have this conversation today. Because maybe there's also somebody out there that's watching this and is like, oh crap, I just found out some news. I'm going to be a mom too.
A lot goes into that.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Mm-hmm. So many things, feelings, just, all over the place. Yeah. But
so we're going to
an experience.
Yeah. So we're going to get into that. But before that, I saw this on the news prior to you walking in, and I wanted to get your take on this because it comes from Ohio. OH.
IO.
This is from ABC News. It says, move over cocaine bear, meet meth raccoon. Police in Ohio were surprised to find a raccoon holding a meth pipe during the traffic stop earlier this week. Luckily, authorities say the raccoon named Chewy, had to be Mexican, hadn't ingested any of the drugs. Chewy's owner, who had a permit to own a pet raccoon, was arrested on multiple drug and traffic charges.
Okay, so first question. Were they identifying as a raccoon or an actual raccoon?
It was an actual raccoon. They had the body cam footage, and it was an actual raccoon holding the meth pipe.
You're gonna have to show it. You're gonna have to show it somehow.
I don't know if I can do that because that's I don't know if that falls under free use or not. Anyway, I don't know. But they can always check it. It's on ABC News.
Get a cartoon now. That would be fun.
Meth raccoon.
Yeah.
On Cartoon Network.
Yep.
For all the kids nowadays.
I mean, hey, they're already exposed to so much, so
that's true.
Not a good thing, but
yeah, no,
that's the world we live in.
They're watching all kinds of stuff on movies anyway.
Yep.
So
they find it,
and Netflix too, and everything. So
yeah, you found it. I mean, hey,
but I'm not a kid.
Hey. When you were.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. That'll be left for another day.
What?
That'll be like a conversation for another day.
When did I find?
If I get another invite, I don't know. Maybe after today. I don't know.
Yeah.
What happens in the studio
does not stay in the studio because well, until they see it, and then it's like, oh well, Mama BS said this.
Yeah.
BS mom, or
I created that BS.
Okay. So let's talk about that. You end up finding out Brian's going to be born, and I'm the first one to make you a mom. Like, of course, and I'm the first of four. So, like, as with every kid, you learn something new. Mm-hmm. And maybe you can attest to this. I've never been a mom.
Well, would hope not.
No, I've never been a mom. So I don't know what that experience is like of having one after another.
Multiple.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like the same fear or it's like kind of different or whatever. So, but we'll get to that part in just a bit. But first, I want to get your take. Like, what was that like finding out, oh, crap, I'm about to be a mom? If that was even the reaction, because it could have been like, yay, I'm going to be a mom.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be very transparent.
Yeah.
I was very young. I was a young mom, almost, right out of high school. But so I think first thing was my fear because mom was there with me. Mm-hmm. So I think I focused more on her reaction than I did on my own. Mm-hmm. And then it didn't hit me till I saw her react and, just going through the motions of, what now, right? So, which is okay. I mean, it's, it is what it is. And at that point, it was just a lot of thoughts going through my head, obviously, I think everybody asks that same dumb question, but not dumb. It's like, how did this happen, right?
Oh.
So it's just like,
I'll tell you how.
Well, I know that, but
yeah.
For some reason, it just kind of like, it's just a natural question that comes to your head. It's like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
And after all that happens, and after you experience all of that emotion, then everything else kicks in. The fear of, at least for myself, I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, it was the surprise, the unexpected, and then it kind of went on to the fear because mm-hmm. I'm barely starting to get myself, or thinking that I'm getting myself together, and now I'm having to figure it out for another little human.
Yeah.
And obviously after I kind of went through that, then the whole yay, because there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know. First time moms don't know anything.
Yeah.
At all. Second
mm-hmm.
time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, whatever. How many times you have many, kids afterwards, you already like start knowing when you feel the butterflies or you feel things moving or whatnot. That everything that I experienced during the pregnancy was always scary to me because I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
When the first time I remember the first time I felt you move. I do. I remember it because it just felt odd. Now, it just scared me. It scared me until I realized that that's what it was. Then it was exciting, So I think first time experience, everything's going to scare you. Yeah. It's very natural. It's not, it doesn't make you less of a mom. Yeah. It doesn't make you, like unworthy or, just because you're not understanding the process doesn't mean that, you shouldn't be becoming a mom. Right. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, when I had, okay, let me preface it by saying this. Like it's a totally different situation, but I mm-hmm. think it's the unknown kind of causing fear. So like when I had my spine surgery, other people who had spine surgeries before could say like, if you feel this is normal. Mm-hmm. Whereas like for me, if I heard like a pop or something, it was like, oh my goodness, the screw just like popped out. Yeah. And it's like, no. It's just, it's normal.
It's part of the process.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's fair to say that like not knowing what certain things were mm-hmm. is scary. Especially because you don't know what to expect in a situation like that. Like you're a first time mom, not knowing what's going to happen from there. And then, not talking bad, but with the people who raised us, like it's not always like from the get go, like, hey, congrats. Yeah. It's kind of like
there was never that reaction. Mm-hmm. I think the only one that did react that way somewhat was your abuela.
Really?
Yes.
Of all people?
Yes. She was the one that was more, receptive to the to the announcement or the information, right? We were all just kind of like in shock. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it was, and it's going to sound bad. I know that it's going to sound bad, but doesn't necessarily mean that it was unwanted.
Yeah.
Just because you're scared, or just because you're not relating to the situation, or you feel like, I don't know, like you just feel like you're out of place from that situation, doesn't mean that, it's not wanted. It's just, you're trying to adjust to this new way of life that you're going to have. Because from that moment, that life completely is going to change.
Yeah.
It did for me,
to the better.
In a good way. Yeah, I won't lie. But yeah, I mean, being a mom is hard. It really is. It doesn't matter what phase of your child's life you're in. It never gets easy, because you're literally learning every single phase. You have your newborn, so you're learning that. You think you got it down, and then they're toddlers. And then, you're all over the place with your toddler, and you're finally getting to know them as a toddler. And now they're like older children, and then teens. Teens are like, oof, no, and then they become adults. I love this phase. I love this adult phase, not because, but I think we have like a really cool, fun, adult relationship that I can talk to all of y'all, as adults. And, we do have a very harsh sense of humor. So I don't know if y'all get that from me or not, but yeah.
Probably.
So I think it helps us relate to each other, and kind of helps us get by.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, no, and I seeing you and how, at least with the memories that I have, which aren't very many for some reason, it was probably like all the times I fell on my head and like busted it open that I don't remember a lot, except for like super core memories.
Yeah.
But then again, when I see pictures and I'm like, okay, I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
But you've said this multiple times, that you weren't perfect. And I will say from the jump that we know you weren't perfect.
Yeah.
But even then, you still showed up. And so we honor that. And we're grateful that you still did show up, even when you were like, oh.
Are we going to like start crying this soon in the...
I mean, you can if you want. But I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I think especially eventually, like becoming a single mom and everything, like it's like, oh crap. Well, now I'm having
And
to
I think every mom needs to hear it, I mean, regardless of the situation. Some moms, they have an easier life and an easier transition into being a mom and into motherhood and whatnot. And some have it a lot more difficult, but regardless, I think every mom needs to hear it, that they're doing okay. The thing is, like with moms, we never aspire to be perfect. We just want to be okay. Like we just want to hear somebody say, hey, you're okay. That's like good enough for us, because we know we really suck most of the time, because I mean, more than half of the time we don't know what we're doing. Motherhood does not come with instructions, but we apply our own experiences. We apply, the experiences we had with our own parents and our own mothers, and we just kind of bundle it up in a little, in a little ball, and just hope that we can do something, do it justice with the kids that we have. Yeah. And we hope that, we make, decent human beings.
Yeah. And I got to say, I mean, maybe not my sister, but talking about Andrea. No, and I think that's the other thing too. Like, I was talking with a friend of mine who was like, I don't know if, like these kids are always going to be like this. And it's like, no, I mean, Andrea and I, oh my goodness.
Terrible.
Yeah. Couldn't be in the same room.
But what's funny is that, like, I know it, but I don't remember I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
I remember the parts where you would like hold her hand and take her everywhere and all this stuff. But those parts, like I know that, y'all were,
Yeah.
y'all beat each other up every now and then.
I
and
mean,
stuff,
it's called wrestling.
But, yeah.
But, and that's the thing,
to
like
justify
now we're all like really close.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that like, if there's any mothers out there right now that are like, oh crud, my 2 kids are like,
No,
it's okay.
there is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope. I can't tell you when it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because it happens different for everyone.
Yeah.
But there is hope for your children. They're going to bond at one point. They're going to be able to relate to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think for you guys, it's more the fact now that you're all adults.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you and Anna were older, much older than Jairus and Ailey. So y'all couldn't stand them because they were little.
I mean,
and they thought y'all hated them because,
Yeah.
like they don't want to play with me. They don't like me. They hate me and all this stuff, all these negative, thoughts. But now that they're older, they understand why, it was just that age gap. Like there was just nothing there. Like, y'all couldn't play together because you just couldn't relate to their age and they
Right.
couldn't relate to yours.
Yeah.
It just, but it happens that, it comes to a point where you guys do, and you start bonding and you start learning more of each other,
Yeah.
and you take the time to learn more about each other.
Right.
And that's what's important, is to like at least take that time to learn about each other. Mm-hmm. And then that's when you start nitpicking and saying, you're like mom, or this is like mom, or this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure y'all do that a lot. But
100%. Because like, I thank God I look more like you.
Thanks.
From what I'm told. Yeah. Cause I mean,
Well, you have a lot of like gestures or some features you do have from your dad.
no. I need my hair. It needs to stay. I look more like you.
Well, okay.
Andrea
We'll
looks
take it.
more
Okay.
like dad.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, as you were saying the thing about like the kids and everything, it was reminding me of like how, because of Papa and Grandma helping out and everything, and then me kind of transitioning and staying with them and whatnot, like it was like the dynamic between you, me, and Sonny was a little different than like Andrea and Jairus and Nayli would be with you and Sonny. Because now it was kind of like Papa and Grandma for me are more like mom and dad now too.
Yeah.
So then you and Sonny are more like brother and sister. But I know y'all are my uncle and my mom. And so it's weird in a
I think it's
interesting
just the way
way.
we got along.
Yeah.
Once you got older, because when you were younger, it's just,
Right.
But once you got older and you became an adult, like, and we talked about it the other day. I hear a lot of people say that parents should never be their kid's friend. You should always be a parent.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that.
Right.
I mean, they can criticize or say whatever, but I don't believe it. I believe that it's essential to have a friendship with your kids. But there's a certain time, and when that time will be.
Yeah.
For me right now, I think we have a great friendship.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a time when I need to be mom.
Yeah.
And I am mom, but just the way we get along, the way we talk, those moments that we have where we can be friends, and I think that's important because, you build up a different kind of trust, so, but I think that's where, where you grew up and that's where that kind of like changed a little bit, where you saw me and Sonny in a different light, I guess.
Yeah.
A different way.
Because even like Sonny now is the way he'll talk to me or like give me advice and stuff is like big brother Sonny.
Yeah.
And even just the way he makes fun of me and things. Like it's Big Brother Sonny bullying
the
little brother. And it's like, and maybe he doesn't even see it that way.
Well, I'm going to have to go have a talk with him if he's bullying you.
No, because he's
got
like
my boots on already.
He's bullying me from, which by the way, like we didn't even coordinate on this.
No, we didn't. We promised.
At all.
Promise we did not.
Yeah,
it was, we just kind of did our thing.
Yeah, which
well,
I don't know.
Ultimately, mom and son.
Who wore it better? I think me.
I don't know. Well, I'm trying to cover, the extra food that I ate today.
Bruh.
So just like trying to use this little pillow. It's my little comfort safety pillow.
If you say so.
Hey, being a mom, we're like our worst critics.
That's what I said in the last episode.
Being a mom, we are the worst critics. We are never satisfied with ourselves, and we always strive for more and more and more. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're kind of that. My pillow.
But in the same sense, though, like that's a lot of people too, though. And I'm not downplaying like that, like mom role and other people. Just, I think we're all our own worst critics.
It gets overwhelming though, because as a mom, you have so many responsibilities, and they all fall on you. Yeah. If your kid turns out wrong, for some reason, my profession, I dealt a lot with kids, troubled kids and whatnot. And the mom was always the one that stepped up, and, it's not to rag on the dads, y'all are going to have your happy Father's Day, but, it's Mother's Day today, but it's not to rag on the dads, but, obviously dads would be working or whatnot, and even the moms that were working, they would take their time off and they would go and they would meet with me or whatever. And we would always hear, it's the judgment. Yeah. That they weren't being raised well enough or whatever, but it was always falling on the mom, because either mom was working or mom this or mom that, or mom wasn't doing enough, or, so there's a lot of, moms carry a lot of weight. Yeah. A lot of weight, and
how, like, at least for you, how have you managed to deal with all of that, or where did you find support in carrying part of that weight and whatnot?
And it was hard for me because I don't mean it in a bad way, but I didn't have like the support that I maybe would have expected, especially at that young age. Right. We all at that age we kind of tend to lean more towards our friends, and and my friends were already leaving to college. They were gone, and so if I were to lean on anybody, it would be like older women, and it was just not the same. It wasn't the same to hear advice from older women. Sometimes we don't want to hear it from older women. We want to hear someone that can, give us a more relatable advice. Yeah. So it was hard. It was hard for me, but I kind of learned as as time went. For me, because of my profession, and we talked about this too. I always kind of had to balance what I would see in my job and then, being mom and not bringing that home. Yeah. Some things I did bring home, not because, I would take it out on you or anything like that. But it was just like an example. I just didn't want for you guys to end up a certain way. Yeah. And so, whatever I saw out there, yes, I would try to use that to make, my mothering better. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but yeah, And I mean, because we also had heard it so many times from other people who would see you at work and be like, is she like that at home too? And it's like, she's different at home, which not in a bad way. It's just, again, at least for us in our visual, we thought you did a great job at keeping the work role at work
and having mom role at home. And so
Well, it's hard to balance because,
Yeah.
you know, as you're being my kids, you know, even the slightest, mom, can I go here? As a mom, you know, you're like, ay, mijo, you know, pues cuídate mucho or whatever.
Yeah.
But as a cop mom, you know, it's like, boy, you better not go get yourself kidnapped and this and that, you know. And so it's just like from one extreme to the other,
Yeah.
you know, just having to balance those two different types of mom.
Yeah, no, I think you did a good job. I mean, like, so at least personally for me, and I can only talk about like my perspective, is that a lot of times I kept myself from,
In check.
yeah, because I was like, I don't want mom to be like arresting me or,
Which I would do, by the way.
oh yeah, 100%.
Yes, definitely.
I can attest to that. I was a good kid, but most part. But yeah, like there was always also this thing of because of who you are too. Like I should know better,
Yeah.
and carrying that and being like, okay, I'm also trying not to embarrass you because coming from Eagle Pass, like everybody in the force knows each other.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't just get in trouble with the law and expect like maybe I can keep this away from mom. Like no, she'll find
And
out.
I know that was hard for y'all because
Yeah.
I know like Jairus and Nayli, you know, in school and stuff, even Nana, you know, they'd say like, I can't do anything because everybody knows me and, you know, they're going to snitch me out, you know? So, and that's true. You know, I mean, you know, working where I worked, you know, I did have a lot of eyes on y'all. But it wasn't because, you know, y'all were bad or anything like that. It was just, you know, we all take care of each other.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, putting it out there, you know, being a single mom, a lot of my coworkers understood that.
Yeah.
And they kind of like, you know, kind of did a little bubble around our family and just like, hey, you know, keep an eye on my kiddos.
And personally, it felt good.
Yeah.
I mean,
You made a lot of friendships though with,
yeah.
with my coworkers.
yeah.
You know,
Like, I mean, because y'all would say, or I would say this a lot, and you mentioned it recently too, that I've always wanted to have like a convoy of like just either black Suburbans or black Escalades, tinted windows, and just like,
that's always been
drive.
like a weird dream of yours. Like,
yeah, like Brian's getting escorted and all this stuff, but like his bodyguards and everything. But like it felt good being known by these police officers and being like, oh, that's Brian. And like, yeah, like it felt good because also one.
well, good that it was in a good way, not because, you know, 'cause, you know, police officers tend to know people in the worst ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would get a lot of parents or moms come in and ask me like, you know, do you know my son or my daughter? And it's, you know, this person or that person. And I'd be like, no. And they're like, good. Because if you don't know them, then that means you don't deal with them.
Yeah.
And that made sense, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, and that falls back to, you know, how moms carry that weight of consistently having to worry and care for their children, regardless of where they're at, you know, regardless of what age they are.
Yeah.
You know, they're consistently, like, it's always in the back of your head. It's always on your shoulders, you know. Something happens to them, you know, it's like, it's going to be on us.
Yeah.
At least that's the way we feel.
Right. And I mean, maybe it's more of an airheaded thing where I'm like, they know me. But yeah, I mean, like it was good to be surrounded by all those people too. And I mean, to this day, you know, seeing them, it's like, oh, hi, how are you doing? And then I knew where I was going with this, and then I like total train went out the station. But that's what I was gonna say. So because of that too, I think that also helped with like if you know, because there's this thing of like, oh man, there's a police officer there, and like they're scary and all this stuff. And like for me, it was like, oh hey, how you doing? Yeah. Like being in that world kind of didn't give me that fear of police officers, but rather like they're here for our good. And yes, I mean,
And PSA, stop telling your kids to not misbehave because the cops are going to take them because, you know, they're going to lose trust. And so whenever they do need a police officer, they're not going to reach out.
Right.
So just throwing it out there. Little extra something. I know it's completely, you know, having nothing to do with.
No, I mean, I went into
what
it.
our
I mean,
subject
yeah,
was,
I don't know.
but it's okay.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We kind of sway.
Oh, 100%. And that's the thing that like, I even like getting pulled over a couple of times.
What?
Not too many. It's been like a handful.
It's always when they grow up when we find out.
I've only gotten one ticket. Thank God.
Lie. Are you serious? Just one? I remember it, I think.
Going towards Waco.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't even paying attention to the speed. And I mean, I owned up to it. I wasn't going to lie to him. It's a trooper. And so I'm driving on 35, going like way over the speed limit. Like it's 75 or something like that. I think I was going like close to between 85, 90. And I see him up ahead. And then I'm like looking at my thing and I'm like, oh, crud. And so then I like start pressing on the brake. And sure enough, like he's starting to roll up onto the highway. I'm like, I know what that's for. So then I start like going to the side and like he didn't have to go far. Like I literally parked.
You already knew.
And he was like, just right back onto the shoulder. After he pulled.
Oh, okay. Well, that was easy.
Yeah. And he comes up and he's like, you know why I stopped you? And I said, I think so. And then at that time I had a dash cam and he's like, what's that for? And I said, that's a dash cam. I think y'all have one in y'all's units too. And he's like, oh, what's it for though?
Purpose.
Yeah. And I'm like, to record. Like
you weren't specific. You were caught off guard, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, I have this tendency of like answering just like somebody today asked another friend of mine at the table, like, "Oh, what'd you have in your cup?" Or "What do you have in your cup?" Asking for the drink. My friend was like, "Nothing. It's empty." And she's like, what were you drinking? And he's like, oh. and that's the thing. Like for me, it's like, there's nothing in the cup right now.
Yeah.
And in that case, It was like, right. Like, so in that case, it was like, oh, well, it's there to record. He's like, but what else is it for? And it's like, what do you want me to say about it? And so he's like,
Specifics.
I mean, you know, is it for Rex or like to, what are you recording? And I said, the road.
Anything? I might catch something fun. I don't know.
Right. And I was like, I mean, it's not like if you're thinking it's to record you and see if you mess up, I'm not that person. Like I was raised
But did you
by
tell
an
him
officer.
that?
I think like in a more like simple way, like it's not for anything bad. Like I was raised by a cop, or no, I said my mom is a cop, so like I know this whole deal. Like
you were hoping you'd get out of a ticket for saying that.
No, because I think he was thinking like he's trying to record me or wanting to record me and all this stuff and be the jerk. Because at the time which it hasn't really stopped, but there's like influxes where a lot of people, where a lot of people are like, oh, let me record this cop and see if he messes up and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm not that jerk. Like my mom was a cop, or my mom is a cop, so like I'm cool with y'all guys. Like ask me whatever you need to ask me, and I'm here to answer.
You the ticket.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He's like, well, you should know better, son.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was an older gentleman, and I was like, no, I know. And he's like, well, you and your mom can talk about it. And I was like, yes, sir. So here we are. We're talking about
Here we are. How long ago?
Oh, maybe, what is it, 2025? Maybe about 9 years ago.
9 years ago, and you're barely telling me about it.
It could have been 8.
Motherhood.
Yeah.
Last one to know.
Still the best of the 4.
Last one to know, always.
What can I say? I'm a good one.
It happens.
Which we kind of veered off on the whole.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, like, motherhood hold big role that, you know, not everybody's ready for all the time. I mean, what are some of those things with even after the first one that it's like, okay, here we go again?
Well, I mean, just the first time alone, you know, it was a huge experience. You know, had my really great times, but I was trying to navigate through something completely new to me. Now I have this person that's depending on me. Yeah. And so that was, you know, that's hard. It's hard to even think that, you know, you even could know just, you know, the slightest thing, what to do right. You know, you're always thinking that you're doing everything wrong. And some people, you know, they don't hesitate to point it out too. So that just makes you feel even worse.
Right.
You know, you're already feeling like you're not good enough. And then people start correcting your mistakes as a mother. Yeah. So that makes it even worse. And, you know, when you become a mom, there's so much that happens to you that sometimes you don't see the experiences for what they are. With you, I remember, I mean, after having you, I went through postpartum depression. You know, and I'm going to be very transparent. I did go see a psychiatrist in Mexico, you know, just because I realized that I needed that help. I didn't know what was going on with me, you know, and back then people didn't talk about it like the way they do now. You know, now it's recognized and it's acknowledged. Back then they didn't. You know, you'd have a child and, you know, you're there crying or you're there, you know, your emotions are all over the place. And it was always just like, you know, nobody knew what was wrong with you. You know, they made you feel like, you know, you were crazy or they just didn't acknowledge what it was. Or maybe that just people didn't know about it, you know, but I sure didn't know about it until I talked to the doctor about it and you know, it you know, we got it under control, which was great because then I was able to see what I was missing out. Yeah. You know, once that kind of started going away, I started noticing, oh, this is what I'm missing out. You know, now I was able to pay more attention to, you know, being a mom, you know, seeing you growing up rather than just everything I was feeling inside. Yeah. You know, because we tend to focus a lot in our emotions and we don't see outside of that. Right. So for me, that was my experience the first time. And then after that, it was just trying to, you know, learn as I went. And then, you know, here comes the next one. And it's scary. The second one's scary because you think you're going to go through the same thing. And so that's kind of tough too. But by then you have a little more experience.
Who was the easiest?
Who was the easiest?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like
who was the easiest 9 months? Who was the easiest delivery? And who was the easiest to deal with?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Like all of y'all were, because I didn't go through like morning sickness. Yeah. I didn't go through any of that, you know.
Who was the best?
I really, you know, I'm not going to lie. I loved being pregnant with all my pregnancies. I love being pregnant. I don't know. It was a thing. I know I hear a lot of women say it's gross or it's this or that. Like they have like their negative experiences. I loved being pregnant. Yeah. You know, I used to like get all dolled up and I just loved it. I really enjoyed it. But, you know, it was the after that was hard. You know, but, you know, after 4, you would have thought that I had it down. I did not. And I knew it. It was just as hard. Yeah. You know, having to raise a fourth one. They say it gets easier, but it really doesn't.
So the
doesn't.
postpartum depression was also there after the fourth one too.
Yes, but I knew by then what it was.
Yeah.
So I knew how to kind of control myself and just kind of like, just deal with it.
Right.
Because it's a part of it. You're and I don't know, I might be getting a little too personal, but motherhood.
Yeah.
Hormones, your whole chemistry, body chemistry, everything changes.
Yeah.
So you're going to go through a lot of things, and you're not crazy. Honestly, you're not crazy. Mm-hmm. It's just your body adjusting to something new.
Yeah.
And everybody expects you to just be happy all the time and be happy about your pregnancy, be happy about having a new child, be happy about everything. And, you're judged if you're not. Mm-hmm. And that's tough. That's tough because, our whole life is completely turned upside down and changed. Right. And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just, it is hard to be a mom. Mm-hmm. It's very hard. And we need a lot more support than we get. Because you become a mom and everybody thinks that you already know what to do or you need to know what to do. But we don't.
Right.
It's just as new as if you get a new job. You have to learn as you go. Mm-hmm. And then, every child is different. So it's not like just because you had one already, it's going to be easier with the next, because every child is different. Yeah. So you have to adjust to every single one. You have different personalities, attitudes, characters. So you as a mom, you have to adjust to every single one. Right. I remember one of my children, I will not say who,
not me,
once questioned why I was a certain way with them, but not with the other, and not with the other, and not with the other. But, that is why, because not everybody is receptive to the same thing, whether it's punishment or, trying to educate or trying to advise or guide or whatever. Yep. Everybody's different. Not everybody's going to take it the same way. So you have to kind of, manipulate, I guess. Is that the right way to say it? Know how to manage each one.
Right.
The same thing. Yeah. Like the same, I can't, talk to you the way I talk to the other because, you're both two different people.
Right.
So as a mom, you have to adjust to each one.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be the same.
Mm-hmm. So then I'm going to ask two things here, and I'm going to divide it up so that way both people get it. So your advice to someone who is just about or found out they're going to be a mom, first time, just about to have their baby, whatever. And then, and we'll get to that second one in just a bit. So just first direct to the people who are just about to be first-time moms, and then I'll ask you
the next question.
Right.
Okay.
So which would be to people who are already moms, but first-time moms.
First-time moms, give yourself some grace. It's okay to be scared, and it's okay to give yourself that time. Nobody can tell you, you shouldn't feel what you feel. Find people that are going to support you. Find people that can, understand you, because not everybody can understand you. If you have a significant other, like as much as you tell them, this is how I feel, they're not going to understand what you're saying. So it's just kind of like, oh, okay, pues pobrecita, que está bueno, Yeah. And that feels ugly in itself because you know that, it's not being acknowledged fully. So find your right circle. Let yourself feel what you feel. You're not a terrible person for feeling that. Yeah. Because it is a new experience. And you're going through a lot of changes within yourself as a person and body. So it's okay to not feel great about the pregnancy. It's don't let anybody tell you that it's bad. It doesn't mean that you're going to hate your child, and it doesn't mean that you don't want this child. It's just, you're going through a lot. the unexpected. You know, is my child going to be okay? You know, how are they going to grow up? You know, how am I going to do as a mom? ¿Cómo le voy a hacer? You know, financially, all kinds of ways. Everything goes through your head, you know, all at once. So just give yourself some grace. You know, you're going to be fine. Surround yourself with the right people, and reach out all the time. You know, reach out to the ones that will be there for you. But just acknowledge the ones that are going to be there for you.
Right.
You know, because not everybody will.
Yeah. So then now to the other, or was there anything else you wanted to say to that first time mom?
I know I probably have a lot more to say.
Okay.
But it's not, you know, it's not there because I already like adjusted to you asking me the next question.
Okay. So
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So then now to the mom who already has her kid or already has her kids, but single mom. What would you say to them?
Yes. It's okay to give yourself your own space. You know, we get criticized for, you know, giving ourselves our own time sometimes, but you need it. You need it. Like for me, what worked for me was, you know, running, working out, and all this stuff, right? Find what's good for just you, because you can't forget you.
Yeah.
You know, once you forget you, then you can't be you for them, if that makes any sense. You get lost in all of it. And then they, you know, they grow up not taking those good things from out of, like, you know, whatever you can give to them, being a part of you, you know, whether it be your values or just characteristics or whatnot, you know, because you're literally not there, like you're completely lost. So don't get lost in it. You know, yes, you're a mother, and it is, you know, a word, a title, whatnot, but you're still you. So don't forget about yourself. You know, continue being yourself. Obviously implementing the motherhood, but, you know, just don't forget about yourself. And it's okay to like give yourself your own space, your own time, a little breather every now and then. It's okay to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just for your own sanity too. You know, your own sanity. Because at the end of the day, you know, your kids are going to grow up someday and, you know, they move on. And in all of that, where were you? You left yourself behind. And so I think it's very important to just continue being you, you know, and just find ways to implement that in your relationship with your kids too.
Right.
You know, just, I mean, I think for me, I mean, I'm just, you know, I'm very comedic. I know growing up, y'all didn't understand my comedy, or you know, me think, well, you still don't, like, you know.
That's not that funny.
It is funny. I'm super funny.
You can be.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm hilarious. Yeah. I laugh at myself all the time.
Yeah.
But
that's where I get that from too.
Yeah.
Just laughing at myself.
Well, it's cool though. It's okay to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you're acknowledging yourself.
Acknowledging that I'm the best comedian ever.
But you know, you have to just, you know, whatever characteristics you can share with your kids.
Yeah.
Do that, and then they decide as they grow up, you know, what fits for them. You know, so just continue being you. Don't get lost.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Everything else is just gonna come with life. You know, if the growing up, you just kind of roll with it. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to have a solution for everything, because there really isn't one. There's no perfect solution for anything when you're a mom and you're trying to raise your kids, especially when you're a single mom.
Yeah.
Because you're juggling so much. You're trying to provide, you're trying to discipline, you're trying to make sure that, you know, like I said before, that they're going to grow up decent human beings. And at the same time, you know, you're struggling doing all that, and then you criticize yourself and you think you didn't do well enough, or maybe I should have just not done that. Something that was very important for me was just being present. You know, maybe in other aspects, I wasn't the best. But something that I did, you know, always have in mind and in my heart was to always be present. Whether it was the smallest little ceremony or smallest little event that y'all were going to have or, you know, just anything. You know, I always wanted to make sure that I was there and that I was a person that you were going to look up and see.
Yeah.
You know, and I know, you know, I always say it like in a joking way, but kind of like direct. Especially with like pictures, because I like taking pictures.
Yeah.
I love taking pictures. You don't like for me to take pictures.
Yeah.
Well, not of you. But I love taking pictures, and I always say it jokingly, and I say, you know, when I die, y'all aren't going to have a slide to play because you're not going to have any pictures of me and you.
Yeah.
I always say it jokingly. But honestly, I think it's important too because, you know, those are the memories that y'all are going to have to look back on. If you don't have pictures, you're going to be like me. Like, I don't have any memories of myself when I was little. The only one I have, I posted the other day. Did you see the picture?
It's the face that I make all the time.
Yes. Like, that's it. That's what I know of me as a child. Like, come on. They don't have something cute, you know, where I'm just like smiling or in a cute little dress or something. I can just like this black and white where I'm just making that face.
The Brian face.
You know. Yeah. Not that it's ugly, but, you know, I mean, I would have liked to have had, you know, more to look back on, but I don't. So for me, it's important to have those memories.
So you're saying pictures of you or us having
like
pictures
all of us together, like
so,
just family, you know, just all of us, just random whatevers. Like, you know, I'm a very random whatever picture taker. Is that a thing? Yeah. Sort of.
So Jairus, Andrea, Nelia. That's her kind of guilting us to take more pictures with her. Which for them, they take a lot of pictures with you.
They do. They do.
I'm just, I'm not. There's a reason why I became the photographer.
Yeah, well, then that's why you should be more like, you know, yes, I'll take a picture. Because then
I'll take the picture.
A perfect picture. You'll know how to take a perfect picture with your mom.
I'll take a picture of you.
No. I want pictures with all my kids. I love all my kids. I can't just say like, oh, you know, where's Brian and all this?
Yeah, I mean, just recently I had a photo taken of me that Tally took, and we were doing something else. But after like, I think I looked and there was like 170 some pictures that were taken. And, that one ended up being like my favorite. And I was like, whoa. Which I don't necessarily like getting pictures taken of myself. So that was like, oh, wow. I'm going to use that one for like the next 15 years until there's another time where I'm like, oh, I'll take a picture of myself.
But you have a good photogenic face. Smile. So you should take more pictures with your mom. Yeah. I don't know. I maybe that could be a question that they could do like
no.
Yes or no. Yes.
No.
You know, tap like a little heart if it's yes, and tap like a whatever if it's no. That Brian, the BS or that BS, Bryansnyder, should take more pictures with the person that created that BS.
I'm going to take one with you on Mother's Day.
Y'all just need to reach out and be like, you know, take more pictures.
I'm taking one with you on Mother's Day. And that's enough.
Huh? You know what? I only have one from like, what was it, last year? 2? Was it Mother's Day or my birthday? And you actually like volunteered to take a photo.
No, I was busy last year.
No. Well, yeah, I know. No, there was one there, and I actually saw it. Does this look funny? Y'all tell me if it looks funny. I'll take it off.
You look fine.
But
you have a photogenic face.
Huh?
Yeah.
I feel like Princess Leia with like things like that.
It was May the 4th.
Yeah, I know. May the 4th be with you.
The 4th.
The 4th. That's why. But that's where it comes from, though. Now I can't say the fourth anymore because it's no longer the fourth. Now it's the force.
Now,
Now that's why I said, "May the force be with you."
so you were saying about Leia, or what were you saying before?
That I felt like Princess Leia with this.
Yeah. And before that, it was the picture.
We took it. We went to barbecue.
Oh, okay. So that was 23.
He volunteered to take a photo.
Yeah.
With his mom.
Yeah. That was 23. Yeah. So 3 more years, we can do another one. An update.
That's not nice.
I
might not be here in 3 more years.
Okay.
No, like then whenever those slides go, like those pictures, everybody's gonna be like, didn't she have like 4 kids? And you can be like sitting there and be like, ¿Quién es ese señor? It's the one that never took pictures with her.
Oh, uh-huh.
You can make a shirt that says that. I never took a photo.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. One day.
One day.
If not, we'll Photoshop one day.
It's recorded, so we have witnesses that said one day you take a photo with your mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
With your mama.
Yeah. One day.
Mama B. Mama Hippo.
Okay. No, that's out of context.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was.
Ask the public. See how they would feel. Moms.
No. So look.
Bring it up. Let's hear it. That's why I hide.
I had.
That's why I hide on my tacos. Because my son called me a hippo.
I didn't call you a hippo. So, Tally and I had a code for when we were surrounded by other people, or rather, if we weren't alone. Mm-hmm. So there was a time where he called me. And I was like, hello? And he's like going off and like saying all these kinds of things and whatever. And I'm like, and I thought to myself, oh, this is going to be great. And I was like, Tally, I'm with my mom. And he's like, oh my God. And he started apologizing and everything. And I'm like, are these your friends or something like that? And he's like, oh my goodness. He's like, Brian, are you serious? And I'm like, Tally, she's literally right here. She's dying laughing. And he's like, Brian, are you being serious right now? Like his heart dropped. And then I eventually told him, I was like, no, I'm kidding. But that would have been hilarious if like you went off and all this stuff. And my mom was actually in the car with me. So anyway, I said, you know what we need to do? We need to have like a code for this thing, for like if there's anybody else, and especially if the phone's connected to the car. And he's like, okay, yeah. So we, said the hippo.
Came up with a hippo?
And because that would be like totally random, right? But yeah, so when I said it in the car, when I was like, hey, before he went off, I didn't even do the hi, hey Tally, what's up? Because I didn't want him to be like, no, whatever. I just wanted him to know from the jump, I'm not alone here. Which
you mentioned that you were with me first, and then you said, remember when we said that something about the zoo and the hippo or whatever? And I'm like, wait a minute, you're calling me a hippo?
No, because I said the thing about the hippo, and then you thought I was talking about the lady that we had just helped.
Oh, that's right.
And then I said, no,
yeah,
my mom is with me in the car, because he was like, what? And then I said, my mom's with me in the car. And then that's when you were like, did you just call me a hippo? And I was like, no. Yeah.
He called me a hippo.
Okay. Well, I didn't call you a hippo.
Mama
never.
Hippo.
I'm never calling you a hippo. Bruh. Anyway. Anything else you need to say to the people?
To the people, the public. the moms,
To the people, to the moms,
the
whatever.
mommies. I'll address the moms. You're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. It's very okay. You're not going to be perfect. So just keep doing what you're doing. If you feel like you're not in a good headspace, reach out to someone that can help you, and reach out to anyone that's a good part of your circle, because nobody needs to feel like they're alone in this process, because it is a tough process, becoming a mom. It's awesome. Not gonna lie, it's fun. It's awesome, and it has its like really great moments. But once you get out of that headspace of being scared and just feeling alone through it all, you're not alone. There's tons of moms out there feeling the same way and feeling like they're not doing good enough or not being enough or just completely screwing it up. I still feel that way sometimes. Not gonna lie. And I think I mentioned that to you sometimes, like I feel like I screw up a lot of times.
Yeah.
But, I try to remind myself why I raised you, or I tried to raise you the way that I did, or why I implemented the things that I did. And it all came from, just wanting to do the best for all of you. And as long as you're there, as long as your heart is in the right place, your kids are going to be okay. They screw up, but so do we.
Yeah.
It's just keeping that unit together, just reminding each other that you're going through this life together. And regardless of the bad times, there's always going to be better times, and there's always going to be good times. And those are the ones that you keep.
Yeah.
And you learn from the bad times. But, mommies, forgive yourselves for whatever it is that's tormenting you as moms. We carry a lot of weight on our shoulders. We tend to overwhelm ourselves. But just take a breath and remember that, it didn't come with instructions. And nobody can give you instructions on how to be a mom, because every child is completely different from any other. So, they can guide you and you can take advice and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you're the only one that knows your child.
Yeah.
And the ones that say that they don't, then you pay more attention, because that's how, they get lost.
Yeah.
That's how they get lost out there. But, so just reach out to your circle and continue being you.
Yeah.
You're fabulous, awesome, the best.
Thanks.
You're special.
You would say
I've
that.
always said it.
Yeah.
I've
no,
always
you
said
have.
it to y'all. Like,
Yeah.
I never hesitate.
You're special.
Yes, all the time, to all of you. But, I always did that. I think I always did. I didn't go a day without, letting y'all know that I was proud of you. And so as moms, we need to continuously, what are you doing?
No, keep going.
Are you crying? You're
No.
crying. Oh, he's crying. Got in his feels.
No.
Yes, I
Keep going.
Do you need a tissue?
No, I need to remove this eyelash from my eye.
Are you okay?
No, it's still there.
Is it the eye?
Huh?
Is it the eye?
The what?
The eye, the one that got shot.
Oh, no, it's the other.
This kid has put me through so much.
Anyway.
You have. The risk taker.
That's right.
The risk taker.
Sometimes
the
it backfires.
gasp every single day with this kid.
Sometimes it backfires.
Yeah. But yeah, moms, you got to just, enjoy life, enjoy your kids, enjoy whatever comes with it. You go from being mommy to mom to, hey, to now, bruh. I call my kids dude because, they're cool like that.
Yeah.
But, that's the relationship you build. And if you're comfortable with it and it works, then go with it.
Yeah. Well, again, happy Mother's Day to you.
Thanks.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are watching.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I'll just leave it with what you said because,
Yeah.
what can I say? But
Mommies, give yourself a break. Give yourself a big break. You deserve it.
what did she say? Ditto. So again, follow me on everything at thebryansnyder. Do you want people to follow you, or you're like, meh?
Follow me. I mean, I don't know. Where are they going to follow me?
Right. Like,
where?
it's just like, because I usually have like creatives on here. So it's like, yeah, follow me on my Instagram because this is where I put my work and everything. But
as paranoid as I am, I'm sorry not to be mean or anything.
Yeah.
But if you do click on that request, I'm probably going to not, because I won't know who you are,
Right, yeah.
But that's just, cop paranoid me. That's
Yeah.
the way I am. I'm just,
right.
Yeah,
no, that's why I'm like,
just I see the request, look out the window, make sure nobody's out there in a van or something. Just like, ooh, what's that?
well, yeah, there's that
So
too.
no.
So yeah, check me out on all the socials at thebryansnyder, website www.thebryansnyder.com, YouTube at thebryansnyder as well, and I think that's it.
Well, let me clear something up though.
Oh crud!
Social media and stuff like that. But if I meet you personally, then yes, definitely. I'm cool. We can be cool. We can be friends. We can whatnot. Like I'm cool with meeting new people.
Yeah.
But social media, I'm a little more wary about that.
Yeah.
Just, careful about it.
No, that's fair.
It doesn't mean I don't want to, meet anyone. So if you ever need someone to reach out to, or you need help or any type, I know, May, and I'm sorry, I know you were done, but I think this part is a little bit important.
Go for it.
But May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. So, going back to motherhood, and postpartum depression and whatnot, reach out if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to myself or to the Bryansnyder. We're here. Even if it's just to sit there and you need the company.
Oh yeah.
Don't
100%.
hesitate. So social media, completely apart, but if you need anything or you need help or you just need someone to sit there with you and listen, we're here.
Amen to that.
I wanted to just throw that in there because I thought it was important.
No, it is. And I'll reiterate that too. Like, I mean, there's, 611 or something like that for the suicide hotline too. If you're like, well, I don't want Brian to know what I'm going through. 611, I think, is the number. If not, we'll put it down in the description below too. But yeah, don't ever feel like you're alone on a lot of things. I'll have my own conversation about that later. In another episode.
That was a good introduction to it, though.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, yeah, have a wonderful day, everybody. Yeah, it's like so weird because I'm used to like telling the people to follow the creative. But yeah, so that's my mom. Happy Mother's Day to all of y'all. Have a great day. God bless y'all. Get yourself a good glass of sweet tea. Don't forget to tell somebody that you love them. And remember, the only BS you have to deal with is in the name. Oh, wait. Did somebody that you love them? Oh, yeah. No. We'll catch you on the next one. And then, yeah, don't forget.
Hopefully I'll come back. I don't know.
We'll see.
Well,
If
maybe. I'll settle for a picture, but okay.
Bruh.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, y'all.
Okay.
Signing out.